Hey, Tariq, hope you're doing well.
Thank you,
Uh,
thank
Hey, watching the defense throughout preseason, what areas have you noticed that you see improvement in the team?
you. Things I've seen improve as a team is like really our communication. Uh, um, the main position group that really has stepped up a lot from last year is the D line. Like they've been going crazy all camp. I mean they've been holding the upper teams for the linebackers, open up the holes for everybody. So they've been doing a pretty good job, and they made our defense better as a whole.
Next question is from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Kelly,
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
what's up? What's up?
I was just curious, kind of how you're feeling. I know you were a little banged up, and kind of what were you able to accomplish as you were kind of working yourself back into the rotation?
I can tell you what I know. I'm as fast as I ever been. I'm up to 240 now, and I feel the best I ever felt in my life. So, as far as that, man, I just take it as a plus that I got my legs stronger. As far as that much, but I mean, I'm just glad to be back now, ready to get to work.
Next up is Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Tariq, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Not much. I want to ask you about kind of what you just said, but like your group in the secondary, obviously a lot of guys coming back. How do you feel like you guys getting better? What are you seeing out of your group in the fall so far?
Everybody buying in. You know, everybody playing everything. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? We got me, KO. I mean, we playing like three positions back there. We got Wesley. He's stepping up a lot. Ye, All American right there. Man, we just been doing everything, and I feel like me personally, I feel like we the best group on the team.
Is there someone in particular who's made a lot of progress?
Wesley, he been balling. I ain't gonna lie. He doing everything. He teaching me some stuff.
Next up, another question from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, Tariq, I was curious about you and some of your teammates have been a little outspoken about playing and kind of your thoughts on that. Kind of where do you stand in all of that right now?
Me personally, that's behind me. You know, every question I had, it was answered by the grateful guy. You know, they giving us an extra year, so pretty much this year for free. I mean, that was like my main. That was like my main question. You know, what if we go out there play a team and I end up catching the virus? You know, I'm out 2 games because another team wouldn't do what they were supposed to do, and you know now all of them questions answered. You know, so like me personally going into this year, you know, I could possibly have a virus from another team because they're not doing what they're supposed to do. I'm missing 2 games of my eligibility because of them. So, I mean, I just, you know, as far as our team, you know, we're doing everything that we're supposed to do, and I just hope that everybody else is.
Another question from Ken Segura from the AJC.
Hey, Tariq, to follow up on that a little bit, could you describe just kind of what your reaction was when you found out about the eligibility to be extended? And I guess it sounds like you planned to make use of it.
Man, before I leave here, I'm trying to win a championship. So, I mean, that's just my main goal. If it ain't this year, it's going to be next year. I mean, it just, you know, like, you can only play college football for so long, you know? So, I mean, it just that, I just take that as a blessing and a big opportunity.
Another question from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Tariq, on that same subject, if you don't mind, I imagine this is going to be something you'll just put in the back of your mind and wait till the end of the season and then see how everything proceeds and then I guess look at the draft, maybe that type of thing. And will you be sitting down with coaches, family? How will you come to that decision?
You know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm doing this for my family, and I know one thing that I know that Coach Collins gonna always put me in the best position possible. So if he feel that is right, then I mean I have, you know what I'm saying, I have no questions behind him because he know everything that I don't. and he makes sure that I know the stuff that I didn't know before. So, I mean, I'm just going with the flow.
Okay, another question from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Tariq, you talked about the defensive line and how impressed you've been with them, and how much of a confidence builder does that for the secondary guys? And I know Coach likes to be aggressive with the man-to-man back there too. Have you noticed a difference kind of in the way you guys have been able to be aggressive and practice differently?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as far as deep balls, there ain't been a lot of those. AB ain't going over top of us as usual, in practice because our D line getting back there too. The quarterback, us as a defensive unit, we are getting more hands-on balls and stuff because the quarterback ain't got all day to throw. So I mean, it's been a real big help.
Okay, well, it doesn't appear that we have any more questions in queue. Okay, we've got one more question in queue for Tariq. It's from Rod McKenzie. So this will be the last question for Tariq before we bring up others.
Hey, Tariq, you got some young linebackers playing in front of you, aside from David Curry. What are you seeing from the freshman group and maybe some of the other younger linebackers that, broke into the group last year?
As far as the linebackers, I mean, they do what they do. You might as well call me a linebacker, really, but I don't really know. Quez Jackson, he been going crazy. D Knight coming from a quarterback, it's just crazy how he can just adjust to playing like the defense like that. I'm proud of all them, but Curry doing the thing. He teaching everybody that he been here for so long. Everybody, whole defense as a group, we just been doing good overall. Linebackers do what they do.
All right. Next up is our senior defensive lineman, number 0, the first player in Georgia Tech history to wear number 0, Jamin Brooks. And we'll go ahead and open it right up for questions for Jamin. And first up is Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Jamin, one player we've heard a lot about on your line is Antonius, and I'm curious kind of what have you seen out of him and how good do you think he can be on the edge for you?
Well, AC is a great player, got a lot of power, explosiveness coming off the line, a lot of experience and wisdom. I can go to him, talk to him about certain techniques, get advice and certain stuff. So AC can be a very great player for us.
Next up is Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, I was curious kind of how the defensive tackle positions kind of evolved this from the spring into the fall, and kind of what you're seeing from the different guys around you, because you have a mix of older guys and then a lot of really young faces as well.
Yeah, so last season was our first season with Coach Knight, learning his techniques, getting used to what he expects out of us. All of us have progressed real well coming up through the program. Jaquan Griffin looking good, explosiveness, great pass rush. TK looking good as always. We got Jahazel in the room with us now. Kilo coming in as a freshman. All them guys looking good. So really excited to see what we can do as a group.
Next up is Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports. Rod, I think you might be muted. You'll need to unmute yourself.
Hey, sorry about that. Hey, Coach Collins mentioned that he's seen some good competition between you and some of the interior guys on the offensive line. I wonder if you could give us a little insight of what you've seen there.
Man, if you look at our offensive line, it's been a good progression with them. They look way better. They bigger, stronger. It's just great competition every day with those guys like, Halson there, Jack DeFore, Mikey Minihan, even Will Lay. all them guys in there. It's battle every day. You know, we just trying to get each other better every day, prepare for the game coming up.
Okay, another question from Ken Segura from the AJC.
Hey, Jamin, is your weight about the same as last year, or have you? Or I'm guessing your body's a little different, but can you describe kind of where you were and where you are?
I done told, I be talking to my dad. He say I looking different too. I tell him it's the same weight, just a different presentation. You know, the offseason I spent a lot of time, you know, working on my body. You know, we had the thing. Coach Collins wanted us to gain 10 pounds. You know, work on our body, get better with how we looking and how we moving. You know, the coaches give us some coaching points at the end of the season, what they want to see us get better at, and you know, I took those things and I focused on them. And pretty proud of where I come in. Got a ways to go.
I'm curious, do you have a sense of and can you give me a sense of just strength gains you've made in terms of, you know, your squat increasing or bench press reps or whatever it is that kind of tells you that not only do you look better, but you can feel it?
You know, all my movements been feeling better, squat, bench, even running, feeling better running. You know, a lot of conditioning Coach Lou doing with us, changing direction, everything feeling good.
Next question is from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious if you guys have some personal goals in that defensive tackle room for this year in terms of what you guys like to accomplish or pressures or anything like that kind of is a goal that maybe you guys didn't reach last year.
You know, it's no secret we didn't necessarily perform the best as a D-line last year. But we come in every day with the mindset we working to be the best D-line in the country. And I can see them guys putting in that work to become that. You know, we watching film, taking coaching points, or transferring it to on the field, getting reps with the O-line. You know, I'm just seeing a lot of progress within us and really excited to see where we're going to be.
Okay, we've got two more in queue for Jamin. First, Ken Segura from the AJC, and then Rod McKenzie. So, Ken, if you want to start.
Yeah. So, Jamin, I remember in the summer or, you know, in the spring when you guys went home and Coach Crawla was sending those videos about, you know, using the water jugs and so forth. What was your workout regimen like in terms of, you know, weights and that kind of thing? And how did, obviously to make the gains you've had to done a lot of work.
Well, I'm from the country, so we do a lot of backyard workouts. It wasn't necessarily water jugs. It was more like bricks, tires. We got a curl bar back home. Coach Lou and them got us some bands sent out. We did a lot of band work, running. So that's pretty much what mine's look like.
Okay, last question for Jamin is from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, it's been reported that Jordan Dominic put on some good weight. What have you seen from him, and what does he add to your defensive line group?
Yeah, JD done put on some weight. JD looking good, you know, being an assignment sound, you know. He always been explosive when it comes to pass rush game, being more firm in the run game. Not only him, you see Curtis over there, he putting on weight, looking good. A bunch of those guys, you know, like I said, the whole D-line, you know, we putting on weight, working on our technique, and I'm really excited to see where we're going to be.
Okay, last but certainly not least, another gentleman who was awarded a single-digit number this offseason, and that's number 4, Jaitlyn Askew. And we'll go ahead and open it right up for questions for Jaytlin. And as always, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. And we'll go ahead and start with Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports. First question for Jaitlyn Askew.
Hey, Jaytlin, you put in a lot of hard work since you've been at Tech. What does it mean for you to be able to wear that single-digit number?
It means a lot to me. The fact that the coaches saw my character, saw my work ethic every day, saw the leadership that I bring to the team. just being acknowledged is something that you don't get a lot in sports because they're always on you. So just knowing that they seen that and that they decide to award me something that only a few people that Coach Collins really respect and really like think very highly of can do. So it means a whole lot to me. It's almost like the top end for my whole career here at Tech.
Next question is from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, Jaytlin. I was
What's up?
curious. I was just curious. Like, y'all have a really talented defensive back room, and you're one of the older guys in that room. Kind of, what have you seen in terms of just the growth there, and who are some guys that have caught your eye with maybe how they've progressed from the spring to now?
One thing about a defensive back room that has gotten a lot better over the years since I've been here is the leadership. Like everybody's in the defensive back room is talented. Like there's nobody that's just way more talented than anybody else except me. But like everybody's fast, everybody quick, everybody can do all that stuff. But the thing that sets everybody apart is the little things and the details, and that's something that a lot of the DBs have really paid attention to, how they disguise their coverages, how they read different run reads or pass reads. Everything that the defensive backs are doing right now, they're doing it to a T, and they're really they're cornering in on the small things and all the details that we have to do to succeed as a secondary.
Next question is from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Jaytlin. Coach was saying yesterday that you've been very selfless and kind of been sort of the special teams player, I guess, that he would want to have. And I'm curious, what roles do they have you on those units?
I'm a very selfless player, which I had to really develop into because, it's easy to feel like you deserve more, feel like somebody should hand you something, and I had to really check myself after a while with that, and Coach Collins had done a great job with that. But my role on the team, I'm really a go-getter, so wherever role you need somebody to cover a punt, you need somebody to cover a kick, you need somebody to go nickel, dime, safety. I've done all of it already. Wherever role they need me at, I'm always there for it. I'm always ready, and I always prepare myself for when the opportunity knocks. So I don't see myself as just having one role. It's just, it's just the corner or just the nickel or just special teams. Wherever there's lacking or whatever there needs to be improvement in, I'm always there to step in, and I'm always there to get everything I got.
I got something real quick as a follow-up. Nate Cottrell last year, he kind of made a name for himself in that gunner spot. Is that something you're doing, or who's standing out there?
Nate one of my best friends, and just to see the success that he's getting right now in the NFL, I can't think of anybody else that deserves anything more, because just seeing him day in and day out work as hard as he can and not sometimes getting what he deserves, but still going out and giving 100% whatever he got. And for him to be a gunner, for me and him to share that gunner spot last year, we always made it a competitive thing, but we always wanted to see each other succeed. So the fact that he's gone and the fact that I'm still here, I'm gonna do him justice, and I'm gonna get everything I have just like I did last year, and I'm gonna make sure that we uphold the standard for every special team unit that we have that I'm on, or if I'm not on it.
Another question from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
So,
Hey, Jaytlin, the coaches talked about after watching film from special teams last year, they saw that size was an issue and they wanted to get bigger on special teams. What are you seeing from personnel changes, if there have been any, on special teams?
I think size was an issue all around the team. It was a lot less weight than a lot of people. But Coach Collins done a great job challenging us to gain more weight, to put on more pounds, but not just any kind of fat weight, tone weight that we can run and be active with. So for the special teams, they're putting people in there that will have a great size matchup as well as an athletic advantage on that team. So, Coach Collins and the whole special team unit, they're doing a great job with figuring that out and making sure that the right people are in the right spots and that your weight and that your size will, complement you being in that position.
Another question from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Jaytlin, I was curious what you've seen from Tobias in terms of his development as a guy jumping into your position, playing corner on the island for the first time, and kind of have you given him pointers and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I always mess with Tobias, and I always tell him that he's on a farewell tour like Kobe Bryant was. You know, he stopped in the air position, you know, just taking people positions. But Tobias, he's done a great job just listening. You know, effort is never an issue with Tobias. No matter what position he's in, he's always gonna get everything he's got. So just listening, taking in the learning from coach and also from me and Trey, the guys that's been there. He's done a great job with that, and you can tell on the field that when he's out there, he's paying attention and he's remembering the things that we give him. We're not all perfect, but the effort that he gives and the attention to detail that he brings to the cornerback group and the secondary is unbelievable.
Question from Skip Seda from Macon.
So
You got a lot of new guys back there. Like we were just talking about one, but you got a lot of new guys back there, and you know everybody's talking about communication. Is the communication where it needs to be at this point?
Yeah. So the thing that Coach Collins and Coach Popovich and Coach Nate and Coach Thack has really emphasized is us being together more as a team. So with this new staff, they made sure that it was a lot of moments where, you know, it wasn't even on the field. It's just being off the field, hanging out with each other, bonding with each other, and that increased, you know, the comfortability of people wanting to talk to each other more. So when we're on the field, it's like you're talking to your best friend. You don't want your best friend to mess up or to get yelled at, so you're making sure that he has the call, he knows the check. And then the Nichols do a great job at reading the motions and making sure we have the next check to go into and then we relay it to the corner. So it's like, you know, it's a family, so you don't want nobody to do bad. So you make sure that you're accountable of the call, and you make sure that you get it out to the next person. So the secondary's been doing a great job with communicating for sure.
Another question from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Jaytlin, if I can take you off the field a little bit, I've noticed you use your Twitter a lot to bring attention to the Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm curious, I want to give you an opportunity, just kind of what is it you would want people to know, and what is it you want to say about, you know, why this is important, and you know, it's obviously a very important time, and this summer all that's happened.
Yeah, so I use my Twitter a lot to talk about social issues that's going on, because when I first came into Tech, I was just a football player. I didn't really have anything, no purpose outside of that. But as I've been here, as I've been around great coaches, I learned my purpose. I became a man of faith for sure. And just seeing something done repeatedly over and over that's just wrong, because all I know is right or wrong. I don't care about, you know, right or left party or anything, black or white. All I know is right or wrong. So for me to see on social media repeatedly people dying over and over unarmed, you know, people like to say, oh, they had a history of this, but the police don't have the right to decide who lives and dies. That's not their job. The job is to protect and serve. So I use my platform a lot to make sure I bring up those awareness and make sure that everybody know the clear difference between what is right and what is wrong. And it really do a toll on me, being a black man, just having to come to practice every day and just thinking, you know, when is it going to be over? When is the next shooting? You know, it's like being in a nightmare that you can't wake up from and you just want to walk away from, but you can't. And everything that's happening, it's like it's new to some people, but it's something that a lot of African-American people has been going through since little kids. All the talks and stuff that you get, those are things that your dad tells you when you're maybe 3 years old. You know, you have questions about. And now that we have 3-year-olds that are seeing people dying every day, like black people dying every day for no reason at all, just it really hurts you, because I have a sister, and for me to see a woman killed on the street or something for doing nothing at all, it's like I put her in that place. I'm like, that could be my little sister, or that could be my mom, auntie, and then I have brothers, I have a father, I have cousins, and they could be any one of these guys who have been killed, shot in the back, had a knee on their neck. They could be any one of them. So every time I see it, it really hits personal for me, and I'm lucky to be in a program where Coach Collins allow us to express our feelings without any consequences. He does a great job with allowing us to, you know, if we feel something, if we don't like a certain thing, he will allow us to talk about it in a controlled environment, just like with y'all allowing us to use our platform to talk about things. And right before I came up here, he told me that no matter what I said, he's 100% down with me, and he's always got my back. So just, you know, we want to see change. We know change can't come right now, but action needs to. You know, somebody needs to decide to step up, because what's going on right now isn't what's right. And, you know, for me, I don't see sports being bigger than a person's life. I don't never see that. Um, and it's a hard thing to see, and I try not to get too emotional about it. But I know as soon as I step off this field, as soon as I walk out of the locker room, I'm just a black man in America, and I got to see all these wrongful injustice all over again in my mind. I got to think, maybe I'm the next one, or maybe my friend Trey, my best friend, could be the next one, and I would hate for that to happen. So, yeah, I use my platform to make sure I talk about everything. I hope that people listen. I hope people don't think, I'm just anti-football or anti-America. I'm not that. I'm just right or wrong, and I know what's right, and I promote what's right. So that's my main thing for me.
Well said, Jaytlin. Anything else for Jaitlyn Askew? Ken, I see you still have your hand up. Do you have another question? Ken, you're muted.
Okay. First, yes, I appreciate your honesty and vulnerability. That it's really admirable. But to kind of follow up, obviously, yesterday was a really big day because of what the NBA did and Major League Soccer and so forth. And I'm curious, what kind of conversations have you guys had as a team about whether it's personal response or a team response or something like that maybe you feel like might be a good thing to do?
We have it as a team come up with response right now just because everything that happened yesterday was after everybody got out of class and meetings and stuff, so we didn't have enough time to process it as a team. But Coach Collins did a great thing this morning. He had one of our coaches come up to us, and he talked about the social issues that was going on in front of everybody. And to know that our coaches are feeling the same way, they're not trying to hide it or sugarcoat it, is a big thing. But it really impacts the team a lot, and I'm sure we're gonna figure out a way. But for me to have teammates, we woke up this morning at 6 a.m. For me to have teammates that was uneasy to come to practice because of the things that was going on, that felt like coming to practice or continuing with life just wasn't the right thing while all these bad things were happening. It really hurts my heart to know, because I share the locker room with these guys. I've been with these guys for years, and they're family to me. So we haven't figured out anything specifically yet. Georgia Tech does a great job with having athletic association groups that talk about these social issues every week with us. So for us to have that kind of action shows that Georgia Tech is in the right direction. So we're just going to continue to build on that and come up with more ideas to affect change in society.
Thank you, Jim.
Well, outstanding. Okay, well, if there isn't anything more for Ken, Jaytlin, do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
Oh, no, I just appreciate y'all all the time. Y'all the reason we have a platform, and the stuff that I talk about or the stuff that any of my teammates talk about, it wouldn't make any kind of change or any kind of movement without y'all being the ones to report it and to help us get our words out. So I appreciate y'all every day for what y'all do.